thank you to ReSource Pro for having me here today. You're going to hear some common themes that we've heard through the sessions already earlier today, but I'm going to start a little bit with a personal story. It seems like everyone in the industry has a story about how they had an oblique path landing in insurance, and my story is no different. I came into insurance from the entertainment industry. So in that era, before we referred to experience design or UI, UX, we called the practice human-centered design. As pioneers in internet radio, my team needed to determine a way to monetize our streams in a way that terrestrial radio never could, and in ways that followed the music industry's regulatory requirements so that we didn't just become another Napster. Fulfillment partnerships with names that have become obsolesced by now, Tower Records, eMusic, Seductive. But our listen, click the playlist link, and purchase concept was one that we had never seen before, we had never heard of, and we had never experienced. By using the principles of human-centered design, we simply knew we could see it in the data that we were looking at. Our solution refined the touch points of human interaction with a machine-based system that shaped the path towards the easiest, most satisfying experience. I can say that I know that design was the right one because eventually it became exactly the most successful buying method in the music industry. It became the method by which Beatport and this thing called iTunes structured for their own distribution fulfillment. The design was more than just human in the loop, it was human at the center. It was speed plus effortlessness plus trusted guidance that was ultimately the winning design. That's the same place we stand in the insurance industry nearly 30 years later with the advent of AI. In the spirit of looking at the data to find those answers, as we all know, millions of US consumers rely on independent agents to protect what matters most. But we also know that their expectations are continuing to change very quickly. Earlier this year, Vertafore surveyed over 600 policyholders to learn firsthand what they really want from independent agents in 2026. They shared how they shop for coverage, manage policies, communicate with their agents. And while we've all heard the trending narrative that AI is coming for the insurance industry, that automation will replace advice, that algorithms will replace agents, when we asked that same demographic of policyholders what they actually want, they told us something very different. They don't want less human interaction, they want better human interaction. Faster, more relevant, easier to access. So here the winning design isn't AI versus insurance agents, it's human at the center, meaning it's human-led, AI-powered. So let's start with what hasn't changed and what has. Here's the good news. Clients still trust independent agents. They value your expertise, they want your guidance, and they rely on you to help make sense of complex decisions. So that hasn't changed. But what has changed is everything around that relationship. Because your clients aren't just comparing you to other agents anymore. Today, your clients are comparing you to Amazon, to Starbucks, to Uber, to every seamless digital experience they've had this week. And when those expectations aren't met, they feel it immediately, not as a complaint, but as friction. And friction is what breaks trust, before you even have had a chance to build it. Policyholders told us something else that's critical. Price might be why they switch, but it's not why they stay. They stay for expertise, for clarity, for service that actually feels personal, which creates a new expectation. Clients want both. Clients don't want to choose between people and technology. They want both seamlessly connected. They want the efficiency of digital and the confidence of a human advisor. And when that connection breaks, we see it clearly. Client starts online, then maybe they pick up the phone to call in, and then they have to repeat themselves and share the same information over again. Every time that happens, trust resets to zero. So what does it actually look like to get the design right? The agents who are winning right now are doing something simple. They're becoming more human because their design is human at the center. They're human-led, AI-powered. Let's look at 3 ways they're doing that. First, velocity. 35% of clients expect a response in under an hour. Not a solution, a response. Because what they're really asking is, do you see me? Are you on this? What happens next? And here's the key. Velocity isn't about efficiency. It's about speed plus intentionality. Silence creates doubt. Responsiveness builds confidence. But there's another layer. Clients aren't just measuring speed. They're measuring effort. How hard is it to work with you? How present are you? Because customer experience and employee experience are the same thing. When an agent is switching screens, hunting for information, re-entering data, the client feels that friction immediately. Speed gets attention. Effortlessness earns loyalty. The second way agents win is by not waiting for the moment. This is our industry. We already know this, but let's drive the point home. If the only time you're talking to your client is at pre-renewal, you're already behind. We saw this in the data. A client fills out a renewal questionnaire, shares updates, then hears nothing. That's not just a missed opportunity, that's a break in trust. Now imagine this instead. Hey, I know you weren't expecting to hear from me, but we've reviewed your policy. There are 3 emerging trends that are critical for us to discuss. Can we get together soon to do that? That's not a transaction, that's guidance. Automation without intention feels like what it is, spam. Automation with insight feels like care. The winning agents don't wait for moments. They create them with presence and intentionality. And the third shift might be the most powerful of all. For the first time, technology allows you to remember everything. Every conversation, every detail, every preference. Calls can be transcribed, notes captured automatically, insights surfaced instantly, which means every client can feel like your most important client. And when a client feels known, they stop shopping. Technology delivers information, humans deliver understanding. So where does AI and the human at the center fit into all of this? At its best, AI does one thing incredibly well. It shortens the distance between a client's question and a confident answer. But trust depends on how it's used. Clients are open to AI as long as it's clear, helpful, and transparent. Because AI doesn't erode trust. Opacity does. There's a line. The moment automation feels like impersonation, trust breaks. And the best technology, it doesn't draw attention to itself. It disappears. And what's left is a better human experience. So what does all this mean for independent agents? Independent agents have something no algorithm can replicate. Judgment, empathy, the ability to guide real people through uncertainty. AI doesn't replace that. It removes everything that gets in the way of it. The agents who win won't be the most digital. They won't be the cheapest. They'll be the ones who deliver what clients are clearly asking for, an experience that feels both personal and modern. Because in the end, AI improves the transaction. Humans earn the trust. And the winning design for today's insurance isn't human or AI. It does more than keep the human in the loop. It puts the human at the center. Human-led, AI-powered. In closing, we all know we're at a crossroads at our industry. I haven't seen this much excitement and momentum since my days in the dot-com era. The investment, the innovation, and the passion for designing solutions. I'm thankful for the long-standing partnership between ReSource Pro and Vertafore, and I'm excited for our continued collaboration as we share in helping our mutual clients, like yourselves, win. Thank you.